She thought she was making a power move. Instead, she handed her job to someone better. Dana Bonner walked away from the Indiana Fever like she was doing them a favor, quitting mid-season without a trade, without a conversation, just gone. No explanation, no warning. But what looked like a bold stand quickly turned into one of the worst career decisions we've seen in years. Because now, Bonner is sitting at home, waiting for a call that may never come. While the Fever, the same team she thought wasn't good enough, are on the verge of signing a former Finals MVP. That's right, Emma Meesseman, one of the most decorated players in the WNBA, is eyeing a return. And guess who's reportedly on her radar? Indiana. The very team Bonner abandoned is now attracting elite talent. And it's all thanks to one undeniable force, Caitlyn Clark. What happened to Bonner isn't just ironic, it's a case study in karma, and it's unfolding in real time. No trade request, no closed-door meeting, no team statement, just silence, and then she was gone. Dana Bonner, a two-time WNBA champion, didn't just leave the Indiana Fever, she abandoned them. Mid-season, mid-struggle, when the team needed veteran leadership the most, Bonner made the decision to walk out. And it wasn't graceful. She didn't negotiate. She didn't try to resolve things. She simply quit, like someone storming out of a 9-to-5 because the coffee was cold and the boss didn't say good morning. It was messy, dramatic, and above all, telling. It told the entire league something far more damaging than any bad stat ever could. It said, when things get tough, Bonner bails. And while she might have thought she was proving a point, maybe even punishing the Fever, she only ended up punishing herself, because that one decision set off a chain of events that would make her career spiral, while the Fever, ironically, started to rise. But Bonner's exit was only the beginning. The real twist came when another name surfaced, one that would make her departure even more painful to watch. And that's when Emma Meesseman entered the picture. While Dana Bonner was waiting by the phone, Emma Meesseman was lighting up the rumor mill. A former WNBA Finals MVP, an international champion, a player who doesn't just show up, she changes the game. And suddenly, Meesseman was back on the radar, with whispers spreading fast that she might be returning to the WNBA. Teams were interested. Big ones, Minnesota, New York, Phoenix. But buried in that list was a name no one expected, the Indiana Fever. Yes, the same Indiana Fever that Bonner just walked out on. Talk about awkward. Meesseman isn't the kind of player you chase lightly. She's got range, size, vision, and leadership. She can shoot from anywhere on the court, defend multiple positions, and elevate every player around her. The fact that Indiana is even in the conversation says one thing loud and clear. This franchise's reputation has flipped, and fast. Bonner thought the Fever were beneath her. Meesseman might be ready to build something with them. And if that sounds like karma in motion, it's about to get even better. Because the real reason Indiana's suddenly a hot destination? It's not just the front office. It's one rookie who's changing everything. Her name? Caitlyn Clark. And she's turning Indiana into the league's hottest ticket. Caitlyn Clark didn't just join the WNBA, she flipped it upside down. The moment she put on an Indiana Fever jersey, everything changed. Ticket sales exploded. National broadcasts surged. Merch flew off the shelves. But more importantly, Clark brought something to Indiana that the franchise hadn't seen in years: belief. She's not just a scorer, she's a magnet. Players want to play with her, veterans want to mentor her, and elite free agents? They're suddenly looking at the Fever like it's not just a team, it's a movement. That's why Emma Meesseman's potential interest makes so much sense. She sees what everyone else sees, a once-overlooked team rising fast, built around a generational talent. Clark's impact stretches far beyond box scores. She's making Indiana a destination, a place where legacies can be built, a team that could go all the way. Meesseman doesn't just want to return to the WNBA, she wants to win. And if you're a veteran hungry for another ring, teaming up with a transcendent talent like Clark might be the smartest move you can make. Meanwhile, Bonner, she's watching it all from the outside, wondering how it all slipped through her fingers. And that brings us to her downfall, the steep, sudden fall from star to sideline. Not long ago, Dana Bonner was a two-time champion, a respected veteran, and a name that carried weight around the league. But that all changed the moment she walked away from Indiana. Because what followed wasn't a bidding war, it was radio silence. No team stepped up, no offers flooded in. Instead, a quiet consensus emerged. Bonner wasn't worth the risk. Quitting mid-season didn't just hurt her image, it wrecked it. In a league as tight-knit as the WNBA, reputation is everything. Coaches talk, executives take notes, and what they saw was a player who chose ego over grit, someone who bailed when the road got bumpy. Now Bonner's not just unsigned, she's unwanted, and that silence speaks volumes. Meanwhile, her former team, the one she thought wasn't going anywhere, is suddenly moving fast in the opposite direction. Younger, smarter, hungrier, and possibly about to sign someone better in every measurable way. Bonner thought she was too good for the Fever, but the truth is, she may have just made room for the biggest upgrade Indiana could ask for, because Meesseman isn't just a replacement, she's a weapon, and the comparison between the two is almost unfair. Side by side, the difference is stunning. Dana Bonner, a solid career, 2 championships, decent stats, but now stained by a dramatic exit that screamed more about ego than leadership. Emma Meesseman, Finals MVP, international gold medalist, known for unselfish play, elite basketball IQ, and making every team she touches instantly better. She didn't quit when things got tough. She led. She didn't burn bridges, she built them. One is waiting for a lifeline. The other is fielding offers from the top teams in the league. And here's what makes it almost cruel. Emma might be headed to the exact team Donna just abandoned. She wouldn't just replace Bonner, she'd eclipse her. A versatile big who can stretch the floor, defend, pass, and score with poise in the clutch. That's not a replacement, that's a total upgrade. The Fever wouldn't be recovering from Bonner's departure, they'd be leveling up. And that shift, from abandonment to acceleration, is exactly what makes this story so powerful. It's not just about 2 players, it's about a team that refused to crumble when they were left behind, and ended up catching someone even better on the rebound, because Indiana didn't stop building after Bonner left. In fact, they started building smarter. When Bonner walked out, most teams would have scrambled, maybe panic-signed a quick fix or plugged the hole with a role player. Not Indiana. They stayed calm, focused, quietly reshaping their roster and doubling down on the foundation they were already building. And now, that patience might pay off in a massive way. Emma Meesseman is the kind of player who transforms everything. Offensively, she can score inside and out, thread passes through traffic, and stretch defenses with her shooting. Defensively, she's smart, switchable, and communicates like a coach on the floor. For a team like Indiana, young, hungry, and still learning the pro game, Meesseman is a dream fit. Pair her with Caitlyn Clark, and you've got a devastating inside-out duo. Clark draws defenses with her shooting and passing. Meesseman punishes them for rotating. The spacing improves, the tempo jumps, the offense flows. This isn't just about filling a gap. It's about unlocking an entirely new level of basketball in Indiana. And all of it is possible because Bonner left. Because she gave up her seat at the table just as the main course was being served. The culture in Indiana didn't collapse, it evolved. And now, it's pulling in exactly the kind of talent Bonner never thought would join. A year ago, the Indiana Fever were a team players wanted to escape. Today, they're a team elite players want to join. That's not just luck, that's culture. It started the moment Caitlyn Clark walked through the door. Her arrival didn't just boost ticket sales, it reset the entire identity of the franchise. Practices got sharper, games got tougher, expectations changed. Suddenly, winning wasn't a dream, it was the standard, and everyone noticed. But it's not just about Clark, it's about how Indiana handled every storm that came their way. Bonner's sudden exit could have fractured the locker room. It didn't. They could have scrambled to replace her. They didn't. Instead, they stayed the course, quietly laying the foundation for something real. Now, that patience is paying off. Emma Meesseman considering Indiana is proof that the Fever are no longer the league's forgotten team. They're building a real contender, one piece at a time. The kind of team where talent thrives, where professionalism is valued, and where quitting isn't an option. It's no wonder Meesseman is intrigued. She sees what Bonner didn't, a future worth investing in. And that makes what happens next feel like poetic justice, because karma doesn't wait long in the WNBA. Dana Bonner thought she was making a statement. Instead, she became a warning. She quit on a team just as they were turning the corner, and now she's watching from the sidelines as that same team prepares to sign someone objectively better in every way. That's not just a roster move, that's karma at full speed. While Bonner sits at home, scrolling through news about other teams and refreshing her inbox, Emma Meesseman is being courted by championship contenders. And the Fever, Bonner's former team, is not just in the mix, they're a serious landing spot. The same team Bonner thought wasn't good enough for her is now building a future around stars, shooters, and leaders. It's almost too perfect. One player chose herself over the team and ended up alone. The other chose professionalism and ended up with options. That's the message echoing through every front office in the league right now. Talent matters, but character matters more. Bonner's stats didn't save her. Her rings didn't shield her. Because in a league this small, every action has consequences, and every bridge you burn is one you'll eventually need. Indiana, meanwhile, is on the brink of a transformation. If Meesseman signs, it would be one of the most dramatic mid-season upgrades in recent WNBA history, from abandoned to admired, from disrespected to reloaded, from a team left behind to one leading the charge. The Fever didn't just survive Bonner's exit, they got better without her. This wasn't just a player switch, it was a full-circle moment that exposed everything about how professional sports really work. Dana Bonner bet on herself and lost. She thought walking away from Indiana would give her leverage. Instead, she gave up her seat just before the ride took off. Now, she's stuck watching as the team she quit on builds a roster that could shake up the entire league without her. Meanwhile, Emma Meesseman is in full control. She doesn't need to chase anything. Teams are chasing her. And if she chooses Indiana, that's not just a win for the Fever. That's a statement to the rest of the WNBA. This franchise is for real. One player walked out when things got tough. The other might walk in when things finally get exciting. The contrast couldn't be sharper. One burned her shot. The other might light a fire under the entire league. And the fans? They're loving every second of it. So what do you think? Did Bonner throw away her last chance at greatness? Would Meesseman make the Fever instant contenders? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story is far from over. And if you want more behind-the-scenes drama, power moves, and basketball stories no one else is telling, like the video, subscribe, and stay locked in. Because in the WNBA, reputations rise and fall fast. Just ask Dana Bonner.